So here are the merits of departmental undertaking. First merit says effective control. Now, why is the control said to be effective? It is said to be effective because it is under the direct control of the government. It is a part of the government. It is fully centralized. Okay, so whatever work they do, it is done in their full efficiency, as per full effectiveness. Let's read what is written. It is more effective in achieving the objectives, or you can say it is more effective in achieving the targets. Why? Because it is under the direct control of the government. So government is having a proper look. So whatever target or whatever objective is given by the government to these departmental undertakings, they follow that, they fulfill that in very effective and efficient manner. Understood? Moving on to point number 2, it says public revenue. Let's read. It is a source of government income as the revenue goes to the government treasury. So just now we have understood while reading the features that whatever earnings are made by these departmental undertakings, they are actually deposited in the government treasury. That is actually building up the public revenue. So that's an advantage, that whatever money these departmental undertakings are earning, it is not wasted somewhere, or it is not put into something which is unimportant. Straight away, whatever they are earning, they are depositing to the government treasury. So what can we understand from here? We can understand that the money that is generated, the income that is generated, that is going in the right place. That is not decentralized or moving into some wrong path. So that's a very good advantage, that the money that is directly being earned by these departmental undertakings, straight away it is deposited in the government treasury, and from that government treasury, these funds will be utilized in the development of the country or in doing something good for the public. Moving to point number 3, it says accountability. So it is accountable to the parliament for all its action, which ensures proper utilization of the funds. In features also we have learned that these departmental undertakings are directly accountable or directly answerable to the government, to the ministry to which they belong. So that is why there is a proper utilization of funds. In case there is not a proper utilization of funds, then the questions can be raised upon them, that where did you waste this money, or where was this money utilized. So as because they are answerable, as because questions can be put up upon them, they ensure that whatever funds they utilize, it is utilized in a proper way. Understood? Suppose you are given a pocket money of rupees 100 every day. Now if no one questions you at the end of the day, casually also, that where did you spend, you may start spending in something which is bad for your health, bad for your habit. But if you have the thing at the back of your mind that no, if I spend this rupees 100, then maybe my mother or my father or maybe my elder brother or sister, if they ask, then what will I say? So I have to use that money in a proper way. I have to use that money in a efficient way, in a way where I can make the best use of that money. I cannot waste it this way. Correct. So same thing happens with the departmental undertakings. As because they are accountable to the ministry, they are accountable to the government, they make sure that whatever funds they utilize, it is utilized in the best possible way. And then we talk about secrecy. Secrecy is maintained over here because the government avoids all the disclosure to the public. What does that mean? It means that the activities and the performance of the departmental undertaking, they are highly secret. And due to this secrecy only, the most sensitive area, that is the defense, isn't it? The defense of the country, I think that is the most sensitive and the most secret thing out of everything. So that is under this enterprise. So just by that you have to understand that what level of secrecy is maintained here. Let's read. It is suitable for activities where secrecy and strict control is required, just like defense production. We have arms here. How many arms we have? What kind of trading we are doing with another country relating to our defense? What are our secret weapons? Generally, these things are kept the secret, and these are the most sensitive information. So secrecy is highly maintained over here, and we can conclude this from the fact that defense forms a part of this enterprise, forms a part of this departmental undertaking. So from there we can understand that yes, actually secrecy is being maintained, because if defense is here, then it has to maintain its secrets properly. It cannot disclose everything. Correct? Now let's move to the demerits of departmental undertaking. First point says inflexibility. Why inflexibility? See, departmental undertaking is working directly under the control of the government. Now, in this government, there are so many ministers, so many top officials. So it may happen that there can be some kind of interference by these ministers or these top officials in their working, and that is why it is called as inflexible. Flexible means the departmental undertaking could work as per its own free will. Now, as because there is an interference from the top officials, that flexibility has gone, and the departmental undertaking sort of can no longer work freely. Why? Because every time it tries to do something, there is an interference, there is a poking by the top ministers, the top officials. So the point says inflexibility. That is a disadvantage. Clear? Next is inefficient management. So this departmental undertaking are generally managed by those government employees or those government individuals who are overburdened with the paperwork. First understand this, they are overburdened with paperwork. Generally they are answerable to the queries from the ministry, from the parliament, okay, and they can be transferred anytime. There is no guarantee that they will be in that particular department or in that particular position. So as a result of that, they have a less sense of responsibility and they are a little less efficient. Clear? I repeat this point. Generally the officials, generally the government employees who are working over here, they are overburdened with their work. So firstly, as because they are overburdened, they lose their efficiency, and as because they can be transferred anytime, they do not have a lot of responsibility over them. They feel that okay, I'll do this work, if not over here, I'll be transferred somewhere, I'll get adjusted there, and there also they do not adjust themselves to their highest efficiency. They feel like, what will happen if I adjust myself again, after some time I will be transferred, so why to waste my efficiency, why to work so hard. Understood? So this is why, because of this feeling, because of this attitude, there is a total of inefficient management. Not all, but some. Next point says lacks flexibility, which is essential for the smooth operation of business. Now this flexibility, actually the point you can write down financial autonomy. What is the point as? I'm writing it over here. It says financial autonomy. Now what is this financial autonomy? As we all know that whatever revenue is earned by the departmental undertaking has to be deposited in the government treasury. So that freedom of using the money in a free way, that is not available to these employees of departmental undertaking. They are not allowed to use their own revenue. Why? Because they have to deposit it in the government treasury. So this financial autonomy or this financial freedom of not utilizing their own funds, their own revenue is lacking over here. Understood? Financial autonomy. And that is why there is inflexibility, which is essential for the smooth operation of the business. Clear? Next point says red tapeism. Now what is red tapeism? Red tapeism means too much of formalities, too much of legal working, too much of paperwork, too much of taking permissions from someone. Now because of this too much in this paperwork, too much in legal formalities, what happen? If there has to be a decision taken in a very quicker way, that does not happen, thereby resulting in delay in decision making. Understood what is red tapeism? Clear? So what this point says, it suffers from red tapeism in their day-to-day work, resulting in delay in decision making. Understood this? And the last one says lack of motivation. Why there is a lack of motivation? Firstly, the people or the employees of the departmental undertaking, they have no power to utilize their revenue. Okay. Secondly, they do not have any incentive to maximize their profit. Generally, a business is done for what? For maximizing the profit. The more we earn profit, the more we get that urge from inside that I should work hard, I should take this risk, I should proceed in this way so that I earn more profit. Isn't it? But as because over here they do not have control over their own money, they do not have any incentive for earning profit. Even if they work hard, same salary. Even if they do not work hard, same salary. So the employees generally, they feel demotivated. They generally feel the lack of motivation. Okay. And also one point can be that promotions are also provided over here not on the basis of your effectiveness, not on the basis of the efforts that you put. It is just on the basis of seniority. If you are the senior, you will get the promotion. Otherwise, when your time will come, then you will get the promotion. It's not that if you are working hard, if you are working in an efficient way, then you get the promotion earlier. No. So due to these reasons, the employees are generally not motivated to perform to their best of ability. Clear with these? So these were the demerits related to the departmental undertaking. After understanding the features and merits and demerits, we should also understand that these types of undertakings, like departmental undertakings, are suitable for which types of businesses. So let's see the suitability. It is suitable where the government control is needed, full government control. It is important for such a business where secrecy is involved or secrecy is important, like in defense. And where we require huge investments, there obviously we can go or we can prefer for a departmental undertaking.